Chopping it up with G and Z. Chopping it up. 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 Chopping it up with G and Z.
All right, yo, welcome to Chopping It Up with G and Z. My man Z, what's going on, brother? How's it doing?
Man, shoot, just making it. It's crazy week. Crazy week.
It's a very crazy week. Very crazy week, but still blessed. All right, welcome all to another episode, I guess, of this Chopping It Up with G and Z. Today, man, we are going to be discussing what everybody, their mama and granny and auntie and cousins is discussing. This craziness that is America and so forth and so on. Man, some of the craziest things we've seen since we've been alive. But I guess it's not even surprising though, right? And what I'm talking about is the Trump insurrection / riot / whatever happened on the Capitol this last week. We'll mull over some of that, get to some of the NFL playoffs, which is still going on right now. A little trumping going on right now from the Cleveland Browns. Talk about the NBA a little bit. I figure we can end it off on a good note and kind of go into some of the, maybe a good movie that you're watching or some music that's in your rotation or a book you may be reading and so forth and so on. So let's start it up though, man, with the craziness that was this last week. January 6th, 2020, Trumpers engaged on Washington, D.C., decide to actually, basically, after Trump gave him marching orders with a crazy speech with him and his cabinet, sons, Rudy Giuliani, all these insane speeches to rile up his supporters, to break into and to stop the reading off of the Electoral College on the Senate and House floor. Vandalized, broke in, basically just literally try to take over the Capitol.
Man.
What's your thoughts, brother? What's your original reactions and thoughts on everything that happened, man? Everything we've seen.
Man, it was crazy. I was I'm saying we work at home, man. And man, I jumped up, was like, I got ready for work. And I was like, man, I'm gonna turn while I'm working. I'll turn on the, the proceedings just to kind of see, they said the Republicans was going to object and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, man, I just want to kind of turn it on so I can hear the objections and hear these crazy arguments and just hear this, because I thought it was going to be crazy to start off with. But so when I turned on, I seen the Trump rally going on at the same time. So I'm watching MSNBC, obviously. And I seen the Trump rally. And then I seen them start the thing, and so then Trump talked or whatever, and then they actually started the process, and then I seen the first objection and a dude speak. I thought it was a Republican senator from Louisiana spoke first, and then like Ted Cruz was second. You know what I'm saying? So as they're doing their thing, in the little split screen on the side, you can see these people marching, and I'm like, I know they are not marching to the Capitol. But he did say, you need to go down there and tell him. He said something to that, like, go down there and stop this from happening. And so, like, when I'm watching, I'm like, bro, this cannot be happening. And then, like, it was, and they got closer, and they were talking, and they were closer, and I was just like, shut up. This is not going to happen.
Yeah.
And what happened was when they, so after they did the full objection about Arizona, and the Senate went back to the Senate, and the House went back to the House, you can see Nancy Pelosi and all of them like walking through this hallway with all these statues.
Mm-hmm.
So I seen them, man, probably like 10, 12 minutes later, I saw a random dude walking through there with a flag. And I was like, shut up. And then it continually got worse. I was like, oh my God, there's a crowd in there. Like they're in the, you know what I'm saying? They're like in the
Yeah.
chambers. Like I seen the black dude run up the stairs.
Yeah.
Oh,
So hold on, because when I first saw that video of the black dude running up the stairs, kind of like with the baton, kind of like, hey man, y'all can't go any further, and he just kind of kept backing up and backing up. It turns out, I just saw this man today. It turns out that I forgot his name. Shout out, brother. You did your job. He should get a medal. Literally, he saw that they weren't all out of the hall or out of the congressional, where they were supposed to be at. He saw that they hadn't evacuated everybody out before that riot, before the mob came in. And so he literally was walking the opposite way so that people can get out.
Yeah, I read that today too.
I did not know that. When I first saw it, I was just thinking, oh, they're trying to overrun a brother here. What's going on? What? But no, yeah, he actually used his smarts, man, and was trying to steer them the wrong way so that other people can evacuate the building or get to, somewhere where they would be safe. So yeah, get that brother a medal. Get that brother a medal, man.
My thing was though, he had that gun though. Like, you got a gun, bro. Stop. You know what I'm saying? He like running and looking, bro, pull out your gun.
Hey, look.
Go ahead.
Hey, don't lose your life, brother. You did a good job. But no, I hear you. That gets into another thing too, though, man, because I definitely want to go over. First, my initial thoughts was just like you, because we were actually going back and forth, I think, texting the same day.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is crazy. Like, this is insane. Yeah. I already knew. I mean, I made a post about it not long ago when Trump tweeted about January the 6th. And I was like, hey, y'all see this? I think he's trying to rile up his Proud Boys to come up there and do some crazy stuff.
He said,
so, I mean, I kind of figured it was going to be. Yeah, I figured it was going to be something crazy on January the 6th. Like, I figured they would just have, a whole bunch of Confederate flags and Donald Trump signs waving and, what I'm saying, just crazy, just basic Trump stuff. I did not know that they were going to be able to just penetrate and walk into the damn Capitol like it was just nothing. Yeah. I think that's what I was so shocked about. And I think everybody else was too, like, hold on, time out. How in the world are y'all able to just break the barriers and just walk up on in there like you own the dang place? That's what got me shocked. And I was just sitting there the whole day like, how in the world? And we was texting. And I said it, and I think, you said it too. Man, if this was Black Lives Matter, if we, and we gotta, I guess we gotta say this because we are biased when it comes to this because we both marched with Black Lives Matter movement, so forth and so on. But dang on well, if we was up there marching, and we decided to just bust down the gates and try to walk and stroll through the Capitol building, what would happen to us, Z?
Bro, but I think everybody understands that. But for me, the greatest part of this week was hearing President-elect Joe Biden saying it at his press conference. When he said it at his press conference, I was like, yes, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could continue to say this and that, but I think for me too, like watching CNN and MSNBC and seeing him say it and them continually say the same thing too, just based off the protest and how they were on the Lincoln Memorial in, was that July, when they did the Black Lives Matter protest up there, you see the difference. But my question and my big thought is like, this had to be an inside job, man. It was too many things went right for them to be able to go all the way where they went. And then the crazy thing for me too is they went straight to Nancy Pelosi's office. Like, how do you know where her office was? Like, that was one of the first things they sent.
Yep. Hey, well, did you hear James Clyburn today?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they had an interview with Clyburn, who, if anybody doesn't know who he is, that's the senator from South Carolina, or the rep from South Carolina. He's like the number 3, I think, in the House.
Mm-hmm.
Black dude, the one who basically started the whole thing with Joe Biden. Yeah, so him, that Clyburn. Mm-hmm. He said, man, I have a sign on my normal door. Because they asked him, they said, do you think this was an inside job? And he was like, he basically was very, political with it. He was like, I'm not going to hoist any accusations without facts, but I can tell you this. There's a sign with my name on it, and that office was not disturbed.
Yes.
There's a office that I normally go to that people know I go to that was
Third floor.
completely vandalized. Yeah. And they said they knew exactly where to go to get into that office.
Yeah, that's
And
what
he
it
was like, that doesn't make any sense. And I mean, hey, from the pictures that we saw, what was it like? Police officers taking selfies with some of these guys?
You see
Come on, man.
officer helping the lady down the stairs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
I
bro.
mean, yeah, bro. And on top of that, I think it was one of the DC cops who was like, yeah, there's a whole bunch of cops that actually literally was cool with this.
And
Like,
military people too. There was a lot of military people involved with this as well, man. So to me, man, I think there has to be like a serious investigation about everybody involved. Because there's no way that you can tell me the president can tweet that I'm going to have a rally on January the 6th, the same day that we're going through the electoral college vote. Like, there's no way you can tell me that y'all don't be like, hey, things might be weird. We're just going to have some extra police out here or so-and-so just to make sure things are okay. And then I was talking to one of my, I was at work with one of my coworkers. And one of the things that we talked about is like, here we are in Oklahoma and she's in Phoenix. And I could have pretty much got on an airplane, flew to DC and been there faster than when the police got there. This thing lasted for like 3 to 4 hours before police came. And then when they came, they were still super nice. Like, hey, can y'all please leave?
Yo,
blah, blah, blah.
So one of the funniest things ever, dude, exactly what you're saying. So I was flipping back and forth between CNN, Fox, and MSNBC. And before anybody say anything, I watch Fox because I want to know what these other side be shelling out, why these people think the way they think. So anyway, when I was watching Fox, it was so hilarious. One of the reporters who was on the scene was like, so the police are actually here and they're calming people down. And he was like, he even said it, I think it was like a Freudian slip, because he was like, they're being extremely nice. And I was like, even he recognized it. Like, yeah, they're being extremely nice to these people. Like, what is going on? I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, man, there is something definitely wrong there, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I don't know, brother. I think I'm still a little bit more shocked by the fact that it was able to go this far. And I mean, I'm also disappointed because as much as we know, you know what I'm saying, as much as we've been talking about Trump for all this time, I feel like the world is looking at us like y'all are a bunch of nutbags over there. You know what I mean? And I mean, like I said, we've been talking about Trumpism. Like, okay, people, come on. This has gone on long enough. Stop it. This man is crazy. But his supporters, the more you talk about how crazy he is, the more entrenched they get with him. But I think I don't know, man. I don't know how the history books is going to play this out. If they do play it out, it should be a white mob tried to basically have an insurrection on the Capitol based off of
the word
Trump wanted to be an autocrat. I mean, it's just insane, brother. It's insane. Anyway, but that brings me to another point, though, that I kind of wanted to talk about with you, man, and that is this subject of white privilege. And I mean, the term is getting thrown around now again. And you kind of mentioned what Biden said. Have you actually had any talks with anybody on privilege period because of this?
Man, the crazy thing for me is like, you know what I'm saying, being like I'm being a supervisor at my job, you know what I'm saying? I have a meeting. I have meetings with my agents every week, you know what I'm saying? And this week, you know what I'm saying? I got like four black agents, man. And it was crazy to see like how unaffected my white agents were about it. You know what I'm saying? Like they were like, it's been a crazy week with all the stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was like, how does he feel about it? Like, well, it's blah, 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 blah. And it was real like, yeah, it's crazy, but it's da da da. Where with my black employees this week, I was like, how are you feeling? They're just like dejected.
Man.
I feel like life don't matter. I feel like it's a plain display of of how black people are treated versus how white people are treated. And the crazy thing was like, so with all my black employees this week, that's what the conversation was. Like our whole meeting this week was just, how are you feeling? And you could see the frustration, you could see the pain, and it was the same thing I'm feeling too, man. And to think that you work in a and I, you know what I'm saying, I don't think my workplace is a terrible workplace or anything like that. I just think I think white people or people, you know what I'm saying, not even white people, because I have some Hispanic people that work for me too, and it's a different feel. I just feel like black people feel like no matter what I do, no matter how peaceful I protest, no matter how much I try to validate my argument and show you that my argument is a meaningful argument, and it's just not me complaining or me pulling out the race card. It's like, this is an actual feeling. This is why I feel this way. And no matter what we do, it's still the same thing. Like it don't matter what we do. So the same thing. So we go and peacefully protest, and you call us looters, rioters, blah, 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 when we know that it's been the Proud Boys and them people in the crowd starting stuff on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, the dude, what's the name? Rittenhouse, the dude that killed the two people, y'all give him $3-4 million for me. You know what I'm saying? And then here we go. So now y'all do the same thing. Man, y'all beat to death an officer. Beat to death.
Oh. I thought it was 2 officers that died. Oh, no. The other dude was just, okay. But yeah, they beat to death an officer.
Yeah, the other dude committed suicide.
Where's the blue line?
Sean King posted pictures of them beating another. They like beating the hell out of another police officer. And so the thing is like, we can't even say like our lives matter and be okay. And here y'all are beating people, destroying property, stealing government documents. And it's like, well, to me, man, it should be, everybody who was there should be prosecuted, period. And every Republican senator or House of Representatives, every one of them who stood up and said they should reject the election, they should all be removed.
They should.
Yeah.
I mean, you have 2 senators, Senator Hawley or whatever his name is, and then Ted Cruz, who I don't even understand. We live in Oklahoma, so I'm just like, Texas, what is wrong with y'all? I guess we can't really speak because we're about the reddest state there is. But how in the world can you elect Ted Cruz back to back? And it's just like, man, the dude just shows you how twisted he is. I don't know. But yeah, you're right, man. Like, there should be some kind of, I mean, there was literally a insurrection, a coup attempt at the Capitol.
At the Capitol.
You know what I'm saying? Sparked by a whole entire, I mean, here's my thing when people talk about and try to lump in what happened this past week in Black Lives Matter. To me, like, a lot of times, and you know, you hear all the arguments, well, they were rioting and looting all summer long and burning down cities and so forth and so on. And I'm like, no. You need to actually get your facts right. There were marches going on in almost all 50 states.
Yeah.
And out of all those marches that happened, you can't just pick out one particular incident that occurred where somebody was burning some shoes or burning a flag post or whatever and try to put that on the whole movement.
Right.
This, at the top from President Trump, was a whole movement based on lies, based on a lie. Ours is not based on a lie. We've been telling people for years there's been police brutality among Black people. This is a truth that we live. Right. This is not some kind of made up fairy tale, where's my 10,000 votes? I know I won this election type of thing. Your whole movement is based on a lie, based on you being hoodwinked. Yeah. We're not hoodwinked in Black Lives Matter. We keep trying to tell you that there's an issue and you don't want to listen, so we march. But with that being said, like, there is no equivalency. This is completely different. This is people who are literally marching when you march at the Capitol, we're marching for symbolic reasons. We're also marching for reason. We're also marching so there can be legislative reasons. These people weren't doing that. They were literally wanting to take over and halt the Capitol doing its business. Correct. The Senate and the House chamber from doing its business.
Correct.
creating a coup, overturning an actual election where we voted.
Correct.
That is completely different from saying, hey, man, my life matters. I'm marching because I don't want to see my kids get pulled over and have a 3 or 4, 5 times more chance of getting shot by a police cop because of the color of their skin. That is completely different. And it kind of frustrated me, actually, man, when people lump that all in the same just because of some of the optics. Well, there was riots over here, there was riots over there. Nah, man, you know what I'm saying? Let's get back on track with it. That's not exactly how this went down. So just had to throw that out there.
I think my last thing, you know what I'm saying? I know we can't talk about this all night, man. My last thing and my biggest thing to me is like, so, you know what I'm saying? Trump done went and tried to file these lawsuits, right? It was something like he was 1 in 63. Like one was heard and 63 of them was like,
yeah.
No. So
no, this is crazy.
To me that y'all are going to take over the Capitol and try this coup based off of that. When I can't go and talk to Breonna Taylor no more, when I can't go and talk to George Floyd no more, you know what I'm saying? And you can't lump that together. I can't go and talk to George Floyd. Trump can say I did this or I meant that or so and so, or you know what I'm saying? I didn't mean to incite a riot, but you told them they were very special people and you love them. Like, don't make those the same arguments, man.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Oh man, we could talk about this all day because words can't even describe the level of just frustration.
Correct.
I mean, seeing it happen, and I mean, listen. I mean, this country has all of the same faults that we keep talking about, but I still feel like America can be a better union. And just talking about America's faults does not mean you don't love the country. You just want to see this country succeed, and you know there can be a more perfect union. So there's nothing wrong with talking about that.
Correct, man. And I think that's the thing. That's the reason that we go out and vote. That's the reason that we continue to believe in this process. That's continue why we have those conversations with the woke people that we have, where they be like, "Ain't no side gonna win," or "They all devils." So you know what I'm saying? That conversation we talk about all the time too. So
yeah, it's rough, man. It's rough. All right, man. So off for the politics for just a second. There is still one game happening right now, and that is the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers, who they came out and just wobbled them in the first quarter.
Oh,
I didn't see this coming, brother. I did not see this coming. So let's talk about the NFL playoff weekend, man. Just what stood out to you besides this whopping game, which they've actually started coming back a little bit here. So let's not call it a done deal.
So if you see me keep on, you know what I'm saying, that's what's going on. But man, let me tell you, I think the first thing that was frustrating to me is like, what in the world happened to Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks offense? Like, bro, did it die after like week 9? Like, I don't know.
It has not been the same. You know what's crazy to me is Russell Wilson. I give him all the credit in the world because Russell Wilson can throw his butt off, and I mean, I like him. I like him as a QB.
And
but there are some games.
Like I like him as a person
too. Yeah. But let's get this straight though, man. There are some games where Russell Wilson will go like 6 for 30 and with 82 yards and 4 interceptions, and you just be like, who the hell is this? What happened to you? Like, I don't get it, man. It's like he goes super cold, and the team just looks like they have no offense whatsoever. And that was one of those games, man. I will say that was one of the shockers to me, although, and that was one of the only teams that I kind of semi wanted to win. They just laid an egg.
Yeah, man. For me, man, like the thing is too, like the big thing for me is like, I think he's a great quarterback. And this is the first year they ever talked about him being in like the MVP race. And he was like, he started off the season with like 30 touchdowns and like 3 interceptions. And that was like week 9. And then he ended up, he was at week 9, he was like 30 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Week 9, he ended up in the like when they did the season stats yesterday, he had 40 touchdowns for the whole year and 13 interceptions. So you mean to tell me on the last 8 games, you had 10 touchdowns to 10 interceptions? That's crazy,
bro. I don't know if it's actually the the game plan or the injuries that just kind of accrue over the season or whatnot, but there was a tremendous drop off. But what's crazy is on the opposite side, I was actually happy about Lamar. Lamar balled out today.
Bro.
And seeing his progression from when they started the season, Lamar he looked off when they first started the season.
Yeah.
And these last like 5 weeks,
ever since
he is consistently picked it up. Yeah.
I think to me, man, I think he was stuck in like people want him to be a regular quarterback. People want to see him throw for 350 yards and be, you know what I'm saying, 18 for 22. You know what I'm saying? That's not his game, man. Now he might have like, hey, he had 190 passing yards and then 140 rushing yards.
Yeah.
That 330 yards was just as good as that other 330 yards.
I might be wrong, but I think this was the best rushing day for a quarterback in a playoff game.
I'm pretty sure.
I might be wrong. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
I check. Because I was like, I don't know if Vic actually did something, but this was, which it wouldn't surprise me because this boy is cold-blooded with it. I mean,
when I seen him take off, man, and when I'm telling you, the dude who seen him coming, was like, all right, I'm gonna get him, and he ran right past him.
Yo,
bro, that don't even make
no sense. Like, oh, damn. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Hey, I think that man, there are some cats who have speed that you just cannot prepare for. Period.
Correct,
bro. You can't prepare for that kind of speed, man.
Yeah. I definitely.
Hey, so that was my takeaway from the playoffs, man.
Yeah, man. I think at this point right now, man,
I didn't actually have any surprises on the playoffs either.
Well, this Cleveland game is a surprise to me. I don't think nothing else really surprised me. I thought the Titans was gonna win. I figured that LA and Seattle, because they're divisional rivals, that, you know what I'm saying, they play a close game because all their games have been close this whole year. So that did. Now, Buffalo barely winning yesterday, that threw me off because I thought they was gonna kill the Colts. But so them barely winning yesterday, that kind of threw me off too. But I think from here on out, man, I don't see nobody. I think it's gonna end up being the Chiefs and the Ravens in the AFC.
Okay.
I think it'll end up being New Orleans and Green Bay. And
that actually, I've got Green Bay and KC this year going to the bowl.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me. That was.
I mean, and I'm actually kind of rooting for the Chiefs to go back to back. I like I actually like the program.
Yeah.
Man, I'm a fan of how they play. It's like playing a Madden game. They crazy like that.
Man, but the crazy thing is, like, I would like to see Aaron Rodgers win a second ring too, though. Man, he's been amazing for like a long time. So I'm definitely not mad at him winning another ring, though. No,
you know who I don't want to win another ring?
I already know. Already, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Man, you know what? I gotta say this, man. I was watching that game today, and I couldn't help but say this. And I was thinking this, and I was watching it. I was like, man, I wonder what would happen if another quarterback did some of the same antics that he does when he be yelling at his people and so forth and so on. And it trips me out, man, because the announcers be like, "That's just Tom Brady for you. He's riling up his people." And I'm like, okay, if that was Lamar Jackson, they'd be like, I don't know about this, Jim. It looks a little.
The Seattle game yesterday.
Yeah.
DK Metcalf like act up in like the first quarter, like when he went getting, and he did that. They was like he's throwing these temper tantrums. He's young, so you have to kind of get past it. But I was like, Tom Brady do the same thing. Y'all say that's him being passionate and emotional, and he's invested in the game. I hate that. I hate all of that.
Exactly.
Tom Brady too.
Yeah. All right. So, man, in other sports news, the NBA. Hey, man. So, listen.
Wait. Before we talk about anything,
what's up?
2 words for you.
All right.
Curry. Steph.
Yo.
Curry, he took out them braids, buddy. Bro, Steph Curry's been hot. Bro, like, dude, he's been on fire, bro. Like, dude, that's what I had. I'm sorry.
Hey,
continue.
No, I was gonna say I'm not really surprised. I kind of figured Curry was gonna be like, you know what? I don't have Clay. I gotta go off. And then when people started talking, it just kind of unleashed. You know what I'm saying? Like unleashed it. But man, when I pulled up the actual standings, so basically, man, we're 10 games into the season right now. There's still 70 games left to be played, 70 plus left to be played.
Remember, it's a 72. It's a 72 game season this year.
70, okay, 60, my bad, 60 games left. That's right, on a shortened season here. But at this point in time, you know the standings out. Let's start with out east real quick, man. We got the 76ers in the top spot on the East.
Yep.
Even though it's early, I was actually surprised by that.
No, they've been actually playing good.
They have been playing good, man. And granted, I only got to see like a partial portion of their games, but the way Ben Simmons was actually like being a general, like a floor general.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I'm gonna eat some crow because I wasn't actually thinking the 76ers was gonna do anything. They still probably won't, but the fact that they're actually playing good ball right now, though.
Yeah.
Like, and they beat all pretty much the good teams out east.
Every one of them.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Man, you get you got any other surprises, man, in the East?
Atlanta?
Semi sorta. I think Atlanta was like ranked down there at like number 7 or 8.
Well, so the thing, they didn't make the playoffs at all last year. And Trey was averaging like 35 a game. So like, to me, that's
pretty. You know who else is actually playing decent ball that I thought was gonna be like literally another laughing stock this year? The New York Knicks, brother.
Oh, yes, the Knicks. The Knicks are actually, Julius Randle looks like I thought Julius Randle was supposed to look in the NBA.
When he was with us. He was with us. That's what he should have been doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's balling out. I'm like, okay.
Oh, but back to the I definitely agree with those. I think Trae Young is, I tell people all the time, like I hear people being like, hey, Luka's gonna be the MVP, or Luka's the best young player. So, and I'm like, not to take anything away from him, because I think he's great. And I think he's gonna be great. But I think there's no separation between him and Booker and Trae Young and Donovan Mitchell and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I think they're all going to be great. I think they'll all be all-stars over, you know what I'm saying, a whole bunch of years. I don't think there's no separation where you can say, well, Luka's going to be in the MVP race. I'm like, well, you can't say that about Trae Young. Because Trae Young, man, I tell you, Trae Young was in the 11th grade. I seen him play in the 11th grade, and I was like, this is probably the most special person I've ever seen in my life play basketball. With my own eyes, man. When I seen him play, I was like, I've never seen nothing like this in 11th, and he was in 11th grade then.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he can actually shoot out the gym, though, man, is I'm not talking about just like mid-range or even some of that. He be doing that Steph Curry type stuff, bro. You just be like, okay.
Bro.
This kid is.
I seen him in 11th grade. We was at ORU at the Tournament of Champions. He was from the ORU Eagle, you know, on the side of the court.
Yeah.
Shooting at the Eagle in 11th grade. I was like, bro, this dude is crazy. So, man, like, I think another surprise, though, and it's not like a good surprise. I thought the Washington would be trouble.
Dude, they are literally dead last in the East right now.
Oh my God. But that's Russell Westbrook chasing them triple doubles and not worried about the team. That, to me, he back with Scott too. I was like, that was a terrible combination. Why would we do that again?
How many times have we said this? Like, I mean, I think it's okay. Number one, yes, it is an amazing feat to actually average a triple double. Nobody in the history of the NBA other than Oscar has averaged a triple double in Westbrook. So yes, that is a crazy feat in itself. But you gotta like sit back and wonder, like, okay, this dude can't carry a team
at all.
And when you watch him play, you see why. Like, he'll come down and like literally jack up something, and then he won't make the right pass when it's time to make the right pass, or he won't shoot when it's time to make the right shot. He's not a point guard. He is a shooting guard. But at the same time, I don't know, man. Like I said, Russell Westbrook has a crazy amount of skill as a basketball player. But I just would not entrust my team to him bringing that ball down the court. And I just couldn't do it. There has to be something to offset that. And I don't know.
So the thing is too, man, like I thought after like the failed situation in Oklahoma City when they ended up trading Paul George and then they ended up trading Russell Westbrook, that he would see like, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? What you do is good, man, and you're a very talented player. I don't ever want to say he's not, because he's good. But I thought he would see that, like, hey, in order for you to win, you're gonna have to do different things than what you're used to. And I thought going to Houston would show him that, hey, man, you got to be in this kind of environment where you can play with a team, where you can't just do whatever you want to, you know what I'm saying? And I thought he was seeing that. And then at the beginning of the season, when he was like, I don't want to play there no more. And I was like, bro, I don't think he, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to lead a team and I want to so. And I'm like, hey, I don't think he has good people in his ear. He don't have good people around him to be like, bro, do you know how this looks? You know what I'm saying? They're like, this is how this looks to the world. It looks like you just rather go and chase triple doubles than actually win playoff games or compete in the playoffs or try to get a championship.
I guess we can say the same thing about James Harden, though.
Well, James Harden, at least he said it, like, I want to play for a championship contender. And my thing is, James Harden, regardless of what he says, he's whatever system you put him, even when he hated Chris Paul, they did great together.
Oh. So, speaking of, let's go to the West real quick. Okay. Do you know who's actually really surprised me in the West? I mean, and in the West, man, the Lakers are the Lakers. Yeah. All right. Our Lakers are who we thought they are. They are still dope no matter what. Man, you can have a ragtag around LeBron and AD, and they'll still be dope coming out of the West. But the Phoenix Suns are literally balling right now. And I don't think we've given Booker enough credit, man.
I'm going to tell you this. This is episode 2, right?
Yes.
If you go back and look at episode 1, I said Chris Paul has Ayton working and Booker's going to have an amazing year. Those are exactly what I said. So,
okay. All right, hold on. So
I told you last week, bro, Devin Booker is amazing, man.
Hey, we're going to revisit this conversation, though, because I'm about to say something. And I want to come back and revisit this conversation because I do not trust Chris Paul.
In the playoffs?
Not just in the playoffs, man, to lead a team without the team kind of inwardly turning on him.
He did it in Oklahoma City last year. And they didn't turn on him. That might have been his first time. They did not turn on him, and they played hard all year long. They didn't turn. It was the first time. So I think he's learning. I think he's learning progress.
Yeah, because he be rubbing his players the wrong way
all the time. He's great at that. See, Blake Griffin, like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
DeAndre Jordan,
DeAndre Jordan,
James Harden, like, bro, he rubs the wrong way all the time. But I think, man,
everybody he played with. That's why I'm saying, man, I just don't trust it until the end of the season comes and they are in the hunt. If they're still playing dynamic ball and he's tempered down a little bit but still pushing them to do what they need to do, I'll come back and revisit this. But I just don't trust Paul to actually go past the first round. That's just me.
This is what I'm gonna tell you. Monty Williams is their coach. He was Chris Paul's first coach when he came into the league when they were in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He was the reason that Chris Paul excelled. To me, Chris Paul was good, but he showed him how to excel in the league. I think Monty Williams and Chris Paul are great together, and I don't think Chris Paul want to do anything to disappoint him. So I think he's trying to be a better leader and a better person in the locker room this year. And I think he showed that last year too. But I think the relationship with the coach will make him be a better player. But I'll tell you though, you can see that he had influence around there because Booker called Paul George. Did you see that?
No, what happened?
Paul George and Booker got into it on the court, and they
Oh,
Booker's mouth.
yeah. I know. I'm sorry. I do remember that. Yeah.
It's some soft ass stuff. I was like,
hey, how much you want to think that CP was behind some of that?
you know he was. That's why I was like, that's Chris Paul right there. You don't let nobody talk no, especially Paul George. He don't do nothing.
Especially Paul George. Yeah, I can see that, man. I can definitely see that.
Or this is my conspiracy theory. This is the last thing I got for the basketball right now. Maybe there's a silent light-skinned conspiracy where all light-skinned players in the league. It's like a light-skinned alliance where they like, you know what? Every time we see Paul George, check this.
Hey, we're gonna ball out and show these dark brothers what time it is.
It's not dark brothers, it's Paul George. And they specifically call him the B word every time.
Every time. Man, that's gotta be rough, bro. That's gotta be rough.
I am not gonna have, you know what I'm saying? No, the thing in the league, y'all to call me the B word. Bro, I'm telling you, every time somebody do that, I'm punching them in their face. Call it what you want to. What y'all won't do is call it the B word.
We gonna call it the G Money conspiracy theory.
The G Money. Nino over there. Think he could take my woman. I'm sorry. My bad. I promise. I was like, is that Seth Curry? Oh no, that's another light skin calling him. Oh Lord.
Am I my brother's keeper? Am I my brother's keeper?
Oh, man, Paul George is getting tried Paul George get tried in every arena across the country. Like, here you go.
Yo, but you know what though? That's his own fault. That's his own damn fault. What? I mean, hey, man.
And then what? Pandemic P?
Yeah, Pandemic P.
I mean, Playoff P. That's what he said. Playoff P. My bad.
Playoff P. Excuse me.
P. You can't call yourself Playoff P when you've got whooped in the playoffs. Dame Lillard hit a 47-foot three-pointer in your face and waved it. So you don't talk noise.
Dude, just don't say nothing and come back and play. Just don't say nothing.
Win a championship. Don't say nothing. Talk. But until then, you be quiet.
Yeah, terrible. All right, man. So that's our NFL, NBA talk, man. What about music, brother? Music and movies. You know what? Let me start on some movies real quick. Because over this break, between this time, you actually put a post up. It said, I don't understand why people are going crazy on Wonder Woman 84. Man, I spent those, and you know, I get HBO Max anyway.
Yeah, I know.
But I spent it was like 3 hours. I kept falling asleep. I spent 3 hours of my life trying to sift through this inherited, smelly garbage of a movie that you thought was pretty decent. So I'm just wondering, man, like, you really did think this was a good movie? Bro, Wonder Woman 84. You really thought it was a good movie?
Here's what I got. Listen to me.
All right.
Picture this. Sicily, 19. Dude, let me tell you though, honestly, the other day I watched Justice League.
Oh, Lord. That's probably why he thought it was good, because he was comparing it to Justice League.
Listen, so I watched Justice League the other day, and I was like, whew, this is really not good. I was like, oh, and I wanted it to be so good. I was like, this is terrible. And the dude that they had playing Cyborg and the way he moved was, anyway. And so then I hated the first Wonder Woman because I feel like they told a weird story about Wonder Woman for 2 hours, and then they fought for like 25 minutes at the end. And it was like I was like, this is a terrible movie. Like, so the fact that Wonder Woman 84 was at least decent, it was like, oh, that's a storyline. Now, when I look back, I read an article about all the plot holes and like.
So you changing your mind now?
Yeah, and I was like, all right, I can see all of that. That all makes sense. The only thing
now you changing your mind?
It was better than the first Wonder Woman. I was like, well, it's better than the first Wonder Woman. Like, but these, like, really, outside of Aquaman, all the DC movies have been terrible. And like, bro,
Hey,
I, I love Superman. Superman and Captain America are like my favorite superheroes, man. And
yeah.
they can, man. So as right as Marvel has done with Captain America is as wrong as DC has done with Superman. Like Superman is, bro. Superman, Batman, Justice League, Wonder Woman. All of those movies have been terrible. The only movies that I could even think of that I'd be like, that was amazing was The Dark Knights with Christian Bale.
Yo, so I was gonna say, man, so they did yeah, you're right. DC versus Marvel. You know, when we was young, man, my favorite was always Superman 2. But I always liked some of the Marvel characters like Wolverine and the X-Men and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Who didn't like Superman? I mean, come on, man, it's Superman we talking about here. My thing is, how can you mess up and continually keep messing up these movies? People keep telling you they suck, but y'all keep throwing the same stuff out there like this. Well, it'll make us some money, I guess. So here you go. Just keep on taking it. No, man, y'all need to do, somebody need to take over like Marvel did. Like they need to have one person take over and be like, we about to make us some bomb movies that everybody's gonna love. And just do it. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But I did actually come across, and I did. No, go ahead. No, I was gonna say, man. So I actually spent like, so you know, I've been off this whole week or whatever. You know, me and the wife had to celebrate our anniversary, and I spent like another 6 hours investing into this movie that I went to go to the theater to watch it, but I never really understood it. And I don't know if you've seen this movie or not, but it's called Tenet.
I've heard about it, but I've seen some people.
The Christopher Nolan movie.
I already know. I've seen so many people talk weird about it. I was like, I ain't got time for it.
All right, man. So I spent 6 hours of my life on the internet and watching this movie to try to figure out what the hell Christopher Nolan was, just to try to figure out what the hell this movie was about. I mean, there's some things that you really pick up on that is just like, okay, I'm a big Inception fan, so I love Christopher Nolan movies. I loved Inception. That was the dopest movie to me. One of the dopest movies that'll go down in history. Is one of my favorites, actually. But this movie just seemed like, bro, like what? I don't know, man. I even watched a video on YouTube of somebody trying to explain like everything going on, and it still left it like, what? You got to be a rocket scientist to understand? Nah, bro, come on now. So I don't know, man. If you want to try to watch it to get something out of it, be my guest. But it's hard to follow. Very interesting and some cool concepts, but it's very hard to actually follow and get some kind of a resolution to the movie after you're done watching it. Like I said, man, I spent another like 3 hours just looking on YouTube trying to figure out what he just put up on screen. So weird stuff. Music, man, what you got? What's in your rotation?
Man, I'm still Snow Allegra. Still Her. You know what I'm saying? I'm always big, you know what I'm saying? I'm always big on Crit. I've been back into a lot of Kendrick lately though, man.
Oh yeah?
Man, it's gonna be hard for me to, I promise you, like right now, it's if I tell you like Kendrick Lamar is the best rapper ever, you're gonna be like, what? Like, you really think he's the best rapper ever? But I'm telling you, if he stays the track that he's on right now for the next 10 years, I'm gonna look you in the face and tell you he's the greatest rapper to ever live. Period.
Okay. I wouldn't be mad at that. Although I would put, okay, maybe it's because what's in my rotation right now, but I would have a little issue. All right.
If you say J. Cole, I'm gonna hang up. J. Cole, there's nothing against J. Cole, man, because I think J. Cole is hard. You know what I'm saying? I think J. Cole is hard. And you know I love Crit, man. I think Crit is one of the hardest dudes in the South. I think Crit is one of the hardest young dudes, man. But when I think, I read this thing and it said, people always be like, well, Eminem does this and this. And they're like, how would Eminem be if he was black? You know what I'm saying? And this is an article that a dude wrote. And he was like, Eminem would be Kendrick Lamar if he was black. That's what his article was. And my thing is like, I think Kendrick Lamar, to me, Kendrick Lamar encompasses the best thing that I like about everything I like. You know what I'm saying? He still talk that slick. He talks slick. He talks shit just like Jay-Z. He tells stories like Biggie. You know what I'm saying? He like super West lyricists like Ice Cube. He got a super swag like, you know what I'm saying, like Snoop. Like, bro, like his rhyming is next level like Eminem. I think it's an easy rhyme and it never seems like, I think like it's effortless like 3000, man. It's just like everything that I like in a rapper, that's what he does. And he does it consistently and easily. And I just think, that's why I said, like, if I tell you that today, you're gonna look at me in the face and be like, ugh. But if he does the same thing, and for the next 10 years, I'll say that like, I don't even care what you say.
No, actually, I wouldn't even be mad at that because I like Kendrick, and I think Kendrick, dude. So I was listening to a song with, matter of fact, okay. So speaking of rotations, man, right now I got, I don't know if you ever heard of him, but this dude called Lucky Day.
I've seen it, but I haven't really listened to him. But I know who you're talking about.
Okay, so man, I had it. I was listening to Sir. I did a Sir playlist, which is another one in my playlist on my rotation. S-I, is it Sir or do you say S-I-R? I don't know. It's like her, Sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, which I actually like some of his stuff. And so this dude came up, the song came up, and I was like, oh, this is dope. He had a song with Kendrick. And I was like, oh, okay, this is dope. Mm-hmm. And on the R&B end, man, I've just been on just that whole vibe, man, of Sir, Lucky Day. If you get a chance, look him up. Etta Byrne, man, dang, she is dope.
Who?
Etta? She has a track with Sir as well too, but I started peeking on her albums and I was like, oh, okay, this is not half bad.
Yeah.
Etta Byrne, look her up.
I don't know, man. I tried to serve, man, and I just didn't, and it didn't connect with me, man. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of this new music, just like I tried to listen to it, man. I just be like, I can't really get into it, man. The only thing
really, I thought you would actually like him, man. But
I remember something about him, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna stay here with the Snow Allegra and this herd because that's what you know what I'm saying.
Hey, which actually her song is still super dope to me, man. She got one of the dopest songs ever to me.
Who?
Snow.
Oh yeah,
that walk song or whatever.
Bro.
Oh man, that song come on my playlist, and I'll be like, oh, dang, I forgot how dope this song is. On the other end, man, so I was actually out, man. I was reconnecting some old schools because me and one of the dudes that I work with had a conversation about who's the best rapper. And man, you know, I'm an Outkast fan, so I was like 3000, number one.
Yeah.
And he was like, you're one of them Outkast fans. And so once I said that, man, I just started popping in Outkast stuff on my playlist. And man, I went back and listened to the whole first album, the Aquemini album, which is still my favorite.
Yeah.
No matter what anybody says, I still think Aquemini is like one of those albums that is just, maybe it was because of the time frame it was in, because this was like college, and it was just like, man, every jam on there was just so dope. You had Rosa Parks. Yeah. You had, man, just the whole thing was just dope, man. And I think one of the best verses ever came off of the album with 3000, off of Aquemini.
Yeah.
My mind warped to ends, close to me, and count to 10, meet the twin. Andre being welcome to the Lion's Den. You know what I'm saying? That solidified him as one of the dopest lyricists to me ever.
Oh, bro, yeah. I tell people all the time, man. Like I tell people all the time, like I'm never here to say like I'm a better fan than you or I'm a bigger fan than you. I'm never doing that. But what I tell people is all the time is like I can tell you like if you tell me what do you think is a perfect hip hop song, like the most perfect rap song I've ever heard in my life is In the Club by 50 Cent. It ain't the greatest lyrics, you know what I'm saying, but the way that the beat and his cadence and you know what I'm saying, like everything just fit perfectly. It's an amazing hip hop song. It's 50 Cent said he still get 1,000 spins a week on In the Club right now. 1,000.
That don't surprise me,
bro, because it's a perfect hip hop song. And I tell people all the time, bro, I got 5 favorite verses. You know, I tell you that all the time. Inspector Deck,
Biggie's,
Inspector Deck on Triumph, Murder by UGK, that'll be second and third. Biggie's third verse and Hypnotize, and Andre's verse, the one you just said. Those are the top 5 verses in my life to me. There's nothing that'll top.
Yeah, actually, I'm about to. Yeah, because I was gonna say that the second to me doesn't even go to Biggie. It goes to actually Buns on Murder.
Yeah, bro.
That to me, hey, ask anybody here, and that man, that's one of the dopest.
Bro.
Man, you can't even get. Yeah. Anyway, that'll be another conversation for another day. But
and then I ask a question after this. I have a question for you after this. But I tell people all the time, man, I'm a humongous UGK fan, right? And when we first started listening to UGK, you could tell that Pimp C wanted to rap, and you could tell that Bun B did. That's we could call it how we want to. That's what it is. That first album, Pimp C carried the group. And
man, he carried the group for like 2 albums. He carried the group for two albums. Bun
1.5. I think like
okay. Either way, to me, when Bun, it was like, oh God, what song was it?
No, it was Ride Dirt. Well, it was 316s. That's the first time I heard Bun B, and I was like, oh, maybe Bun got something in him. That was the first time.
But that Riding Dirty album, he came out. And then.
But this is so. Here's the whole point of the story, though. I feel like Pimp C was never a super rapper. He was. I mean, not a super lyricist, but he had his style. He talked noise. That's what we like about Pimp C. You know what I'm saying? But Pimp C seems like he sat down and was like, I'm going to write the hardest rap verse I can possibly
ever
for Murder, and that's what he did. And then once he did that, I feel like Bun B was in the studio listening to him rap and was just like, well, it's Bun B, bitch, and I'm the king of moving chickens. And then he went left. I'm like, bro. I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, because I was just amazed that Pimp C rapped the way that he rapped. And then, then Bun did it. I was like, bro, this
man, Bun bodied everything on that song. Right. I mean, literally.
Yes.
And I think the first time when I heard it, I was like, oh, he's not done yet. He kept going. And I was like, the finger licking the chicken. I was like, stop it, Bun, stop it. Who is this? Who wrote this for you? Somebody wrote this for you. Nah, this ain't Bun B. Oh, he killed that, man. He straight bodied that. That was crazy.
How do you feel about the UGK versus 8Ball and MJG versus?
I think it's pretty dope, man. To be honest with you, because I mean, that's basically the whole South right there, besides Outkast.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, but you know good and well UGK gonna kill it though, because 8Ball MJG. I mean, I can think.
So
no, I do too. But to be honest, man, everybody and their mama gonna be like, okay, what songs do I know? And you're gonna know most of the songs from UGK.
Yep, I agree.
So, but 8Ball to Fat Mac, yeah. Hey,
bro, I'm telling you, MJG has always been my favorite anyway. But I would love to see UGK versus Outkast though.
That'd be my favorite pick right there. And I'm definitely saying Outkast wins, but hey, I'm partial to it.
I think UGK competes with Outkast more than what people think though.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I give a dude. It depends on your style of music, though, because I still say, with Outkast, with just 3,000, man, and even hell, I mean, sometimes I just don't think the lyrics, the lyricism is actually on par with UGK or with Outkast. Excuse me, UGK versus Outkast. I think UGK has some when you hear it, you like, okay, yeah, it's almost like Tupac to Biggie to me. Like Pac was never the better lyricist. When it came down between him and Biggie, Biggie was always a better lyricist. But Pac made you feel something in his music. It's the same thing with UGK and Pimp C. They make you feel something in their music. I mean, growing up in the South.
But here's the thing, though, and this is where I'll tell you that you won't get away with the lyricism thing, especially for me, because if we ranked them by who's the better rapper, we go 3,000, Bun B, Pimp C, and Big Boy.
No, I wouldn't. I'm actually, if you're talking about just the lyrics, because Big Boy don't get enough credit either.
He never shows up when he's supposed to. Think about any time that they had a whole group song. Like, bro, he was set up to have an amazing verse on International Players, like the I Choose You, and he fumbled. Like that was the, I was like, bro, what is this? This is a terrible verse. This ain't even like what were you thinking? You know what I'm saying? So like my thing is, even if you think about, if we talk about like even if you think if we talk about liberation, man, if we talk about liberation, we're gonna talk about Andre, we're gonna talk about Erykah Badu, we're gonna talk about Big Rube, we're gonna talk about CeeLo. Nobody's talking. I feel like I feel like Big Boy, outside of So Fresh and So Clean, which is like his thing, and Miss Jackson, he did great on Miss Jackson too. But I think for the most part of that, Big Boy was just like there.
You know, I feel like Big Boy was. It's almost kind of like the best opposite. I wouldn't even call it opposite, but just the best tag team.
Yeah, I mean,
for Andre.
You could together. He didn't take no shine from him. They kind of fit together for the most part.
Yeah,
they liked each other when they first started. But man, if we really talk about who brought something to the table, you tell me the Andre verse where you was like, oh, that was terrible.
Man, I think Andre only had like a couple of different songs where I was like, okay, yeah, he could have did something else. He was just. Well, later on when they did Speaker Box and The Love Below, I was kind of like,
But those ain't rap songs, and so I don't even count that. I'm not gonna count that. If we're talking about,
but at the same time, who the hell can come out with "Hey Y'all" and it become an international hit?
But I think he saw that he had other talents and he wanted to do other stuff. But if we think about,
he wanted to break off and do something, man. Hey, so last thing, man, and I guess our time is pretty much up, man.
Yeah.
But with everything going on this past week, man, with just everything in the Capitol and everything that was happening, I started listening to Crit more, and that Crit song came up again, man, and I've been bumping it for the last few days. And man, I gotta say, man, that's probably the best song I still say it. That's the best song Crit's ever done. Might not be okay.
Oh, might not be okay.
Bro, I can listen to that song probably about 6 times straight and still feel it and just be like, man, yes, exactly. Yeah. I mean, because he bodied that song up with everything that you can possibly feel with what goes on in this country towards us.
Yeah. I think Crit got a few of those like that, man. And I the Outkast fan that I am appreciates when he does those songs. But me loving UGK more than I love Outkast, it makes me appreciate the 215.
The Riding Dirty.
Yeah. I want to hear that.
Cadillac, clack, Cadillac, clack.
Yeah. King of the South. I like to hear you talking noise, man. I want to hear you talking noise. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, don't get me wrong, man. I don't mind it here and there, but give me some conscious though too. I like the conscious rap, bro. I do.
I definitely agree.
All right, man. Anything you want to drop before we head on out and finish this off?
No, man. That's all I got, man. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we have something different next week and figure it out next week. But thank y'all for tuning in. If you watched the episode, if you watched the first 2, thank y'all for supporting us. Appreciate it.
I bet. Definitely things up. Bless up. Stay good, man.
All right, bro. I'll holler at you.
All right, my dude.